horses are at risk, and what's really fun about having an at-risk horse and an at-risk group is that some of the at-risk kids will really gravitate towards the abused horses because they know what it feels like to be abused. We have two smaller horses, one 7 months old and one a year old, that were horribly abused. I mean, all their ribs were showing. We call them Axel and Rose. They're two gray horses, and they were really, really sick, respiratory illnesses. They had rain rot all over their skin, which is this kind of infection kind of thing. They had worms that were horrible. Their feet were all overgrown and stuff. And so when we rescued them, we brought them in and brought in vets and farriers and all that kind of stuff. But then you always, for me, I love the horses, but that's not my passion. My passion are these kids. And so I want, every time we do anything like that, is I want the kids here. I want you to watch the process. I want you to see what it feels like or looks like to start caring for someone else. And definitely the horses, like we're going to make sure their feet are done and that their infections cleared up and they have medications they have to take. And there's something that happens even for the kids when they watch you take care of the animals. And so the fact that our horses are at risk, they're all mostly, there's two that have been born on the property, but most of them have been donated. We have another horse that the rider, while they were riding, another one of their horses fell down a cliff, 80 foot down a cliff, and their horse died. But then Mary, the horse they gave to us, was never cared for or taken care of after that point. And so when we got her, she was almost wild. And now she's our best riding horse. And so it's a matter of, every one of these horses has a little kind of quirks to them because of their own abuse. And the kids know that every one of them have quirks because of their own abuse. And so it just goes together. It really goes together well. We had one horse that you couldn't even get her to come up to you. I mean, not at all. And she was so afraid all the time. And so it would take you, even with treats, it would take you a good 30 minutes to get her to even take a treat from your hand. And this one gang member that came over, that he made it a point to make sure that he always at least gave her a treat, at least pet her, at least brushed her out. And it took him forever, 30 to 40 minutes to get her to even let him approach her. And yet he spent that time with that horse every time. And I couldn't, when you look at this gangster, you think, why is it? What is it in your heart that makes you do that? And I know it's because he felt like that horse. You know what I mean? He felt that scared and that abused. And he would never say that, is I'm that scared and I know what that feels like. But I know for these kids, that's what they know, is I am afraid. And I know what that horse feels like, and I'm going to teach her to be less afraid. And in teaching her to be less afraid, he's less afraid. And it's just, like I said, when I see it happen, I wish I could just, it's like I wish I somehow could just show somebody what just happened in the heart of that child, in the heart of that kid, and in the healing that happened with this animal. And it's just beyond what you just can even describe. I mean, you have to really see it, and then I'm sold out. I'm just sold out.